you really have to be at your bestest. Yeah. It's very difficult, but very fun new way to play the game. What's up everyone, Jake from Switchforce here to show you some Specter of Torment secrets and hidden challenges, as well as what you unlock after completing the main campaign. As you can see on the start screen, we have unlocked challenge mode and sound test, and I'll get to those in a second. But first, I want to show you the most obvious difference, which is apparent as soon as I start up my campaign again. You can see at the top of the screen there's a glaring difference. I no longer have a separate will and darkness bar. Instead, I have a giant combine bar, which slowly depletes over time and further depletes if you get hit or use a curio power. So I'll just show you kind of in a little example in a level. Go to the exploratorium, excuse me, to fight Plague Knight if we can get there. So this kind of totally changes the way you play the game. You have to do almost like a time trial, way faster paced version of the game, and you must be conscious to, one, not get hit, and then two, if you do, quickly defeat some enemies to get some darkness back. Otherwise, you are tough out of luck. And to further complicate things, you no longer have the very nice cushiony lifestyle of many checkpoints. You only have 2, I believe, in each level, so you have a much further distance to travel before you're allowed to regroup, and you have this ever depleting darkness and will meter, which is not your friend. And as a special treat, every single one of those chef cocktails is now a bomb. Now into challenge mode, which is possibly my favorite part of this game. As you can see, you get 5 kind of more ability or skill-based challenges, and then you have a bunch of rematches against the different bosses. And as you can see, I've tried a decent number of these, and I've only completed 1 of each. Polar Knight is the only one where you have to do it a little bit differently. You're not allowed to use your scythe. You can only use the throwing scythe power to defeat him, and you have much more minimal health, and you have nothing else that you can use to beat him. I did this kind of unexpectedly. I was surprised at how well I fared here. But yeah, you really got to get him caught in that double boomerang back action if you want to survive. But yeah, again, a totally new way to fight a boss that you previously have fought, and it forces you to play a brand new style game. You can't just go dash and slash into everybody because you will die because you have very little health. And if we go, say, to Treasure Knight, being within the time limit, now I have my scythe, but I only have 1 curio power, and it's the bouncing skull one. So I can only use that, and I have only 30 seconds to defeat the infamous Treasure Knight, and only 3 will. So it's definitely a brand new challenge if I've ever heard of one. And yeah, they're very quick hitting, so you can very quickly just get into a new match. And if you're sick of trying one over and over again, you can go to a new one. But I love these sort of numbered challenges because they are very unique. This one is almost like a Donkey Kong minecart style level where you're grinding along these rails in your scythe. I don't even know why. I thought I was collecting the ghost. Grinding along on your scythe on these rails. You have half of a will to start, so you can't get hit by anything, and you're just trying to get to the end of the stage here. But it's very, very unique, I think, and cool to see how they messed up, man. You gotta really learn that pattern. To see how they use Specter Knight's abilities they use throughout the game in a very specific setting. This one, I don't know if I'll ever beat Beeto's Big Break. So this one, you have to juggle the beetle, the Beeto, I guess. And this area kind of shows you what you need to do. You got to use him for movement to get to the other side. But now you have to juggle this beetle for literally what seems like an eternity. And you can't do jump slashes because that'll kill it. As you can see right there, I just mucked that up. So we'll respawn him and give it one more try. But you have to be on the ground to hit him, to juggle him. Otherwise, you kill him. And you have to go along juggling. You don't want that treasure chest at all. But as you can see, probably should have went and opened that one first. You have to fight an enemy. You have to go through all these propeller fans, still while juggling it. You have to turn the crank while sitting here and juggling the beetle. Then you have to go through here. Another enemy gets thrown at you. There's stairs. So it's all sorts of challenging problems that you must face. I'll show you one more challenge. You can skip ahead if you don't want to see it. But I think they're really cool, and even if you do see it, you're not going to figure it out instantly. This one, you're trying to defeat all the enemies within the time limit and using only the spider scythe. which I think, again, is a very unique, cool way to try to almost like target practice to try to get you to play the game in different ways and use all the powers if you never really used them during the game or anything like that. So we'll throw 2 down there. I have tried to complete this one multiple times and I have not beat it yet. Again, I really enjoy that because then that means that I'll still be playing Specter Knight long after I have beaten the main campaign. So that excites me. And then that brings us to the sound test, which is the third thing that you unlock post completion. And if you love the sounds and music of Specter Knight, you can just come here and listen to all 40 of them. I think it's some of the best chiptune music I've ever heard. So if you're into that sort of thing, that is definitely an enjoyable experience for sure. Now on to the hidden challenges that you do not need to complete the game to access. The first one here is if you go and beat up the gargoyle, you enter this cool little grind area with this hedgehog who says he's really cool. And you can get some money and just kind of grind around if you want. But then if you go to the leftmost area and hit the door down, you come to Horace's land. And Horace says he's been here for a very long time and he has a game for you to play if you would like a reward. And this is an incredibly fun and difficult challenge. Basically, it's a tower you're trying to climb using all of Specter Knight's abilities. And the floor is chasing you. So that's a fun added little thing there. So you have to not only be precise in your movements, but you have to be quick about them too. And can't linger in any one area too long. And it is not the same every time. There are different sections that get randomized into how you will encounter them. So you kind of learn how to handle each section, but they're never in the same pattern. So you will forever be on your toes. And I think there's more sections than there are slots. So you may not encounter a section like the next time you play it. Like it might not be there because there's enough, I think, to randomize through. But I'm making it look pretty easy. But this, I've done this one many times. Oh no! And the reward, if you want to know what it is just a bunch of money. But for me, the best reward was just the feeling of gratification. Well, wow. After beating it, and see, you have to. My words got jumbled, and then my head got jumbled, and you have to be 100% focused for Horace. Now, that whole grinding Horace area can be accessed from the banquet hall, as well as you go to the upper leftmost area and jump over this wall. You're right into the grinding section. Another fun little Easter egg is if you come over here to the rightmost section of the tower and hit one of these bubble balls across the way over and keep knocking it over to this treasure chest cat, then she starts spitting out all of the gold and riches you could ever hope for. So that's just a fun, quick way to get a little bit of extra money. She keeps on spitting them out. And then if you jump up here and smack this mirror around a little bit, you get the grumpy old man in the mirror to tell you your in-game stats. So if you're into like 100% of things or want to see how long you played, then you can definitely do that here. So that's going to do it for this video. Obviously, each level has its own hidden areas where you can find upgrades and more red skulls, but I'm going to let you guys find those on your own because that is the whole fun of the game. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let us know what you think of these kind of guide tutorial type videos if you want to see more of them, how you like them. And again, stay tuned on Switch Force for all things Switch. And with that, Switch Force out.